Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of 1,000 Pound Sisters, Season 2, Episode 9, Labor of Love. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. To all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. If I had to rate last night's episode, I would rate it an A because the baby is here. But the process to getting to the baby, we're going to make it very clear. Okay? Okay, y'all. Okay, okay. So anyway, um, we started off this episode basically where we ended in the last one, with Amy being in pain and on her way to the hospital. Now, as many of you all know, Tammy was the first one that was in pain, having Charlie horses in the back of the minivan. And then Amy began to cry and say that she was having pains. Um, and so, of course, in auntie fashion, I felt like Amy was being fake and phony and just wanting attention. That's what I thought. Well, it turns out I was right. Amy got to the hospital, and all Amy was doing was having Braxton Hicks contractions. You know, one thing that I have noticed about the two sisters is that they are always in competition with one another for attention. I'm not going to change my opinion about that because I think that the two sisters have proven. Hold on for a minute, y'all. There we go. Ah, okay. One thing I've noted about the sisters is they always are fighting for attention. So anyway, you know, she comes back home from the hospital and she calls Tammy, who has been semi worried about her, and tells Tammy that um, she was having contractions, but that the doctor felt like it was necessary to do. Um, well, she didn't have a baby, and the doctors felt like she needed to quarantine for 14 days of her because of her health. They wanted to do a C-section on her, and given the fact that the baby was in a breech position. So, she, of course, can have the baby unless the baby, turns around itself. A lot of times, mothers have their babies in breech positions, and right before, they go into the hospital to finally deliver the baby, sometimes the baby will turn itself. And so they have scheduled this out. They've asked her, because of the pandemic, to quarantine for 14 days before coming to the hospital so that her and her husband both would have negative COVID tests. And so, she's in the process of, doing that and trying to get everything together for the baby because the baby is about to be here. In the last episode, we heard Amy indicate that the baby was getting smaller. And so we're hoping that, well, forget it. The cat's out the bag. She's had the baby. Okay. Baby Gage Dion is here. So what happened to Amy was Amy, waited the 14 days out, had a scheduled C-section, went and had the C-section. When the baby was born, he was born at 5 pounds, I believe. And I can't remember how many the ounces it was. And he was 17 inches long. And so, with all of that eating and all of that kind of stuff that she was doing, thinking that, eating all of this food was going to attribute to the baby's weight, didn't work, okay? I believe that she had the baby 2 weeks early. And usually in the last month is when the baby really starts gaining the weight that it's going to gain, right? In the last month and a half, if you will. And so she said that, she was waking up out of ICU, and let me stop, y'all. Hold on one second. Thank you so much, Brittany Lynn, for the $4.99 super chat. Love the orange plaid, Auntie. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Deja, for the $4.99 super chat. Auntie, when I say I've been waiting on this, when I saw that they did everything but clean up, I said Auntie is going to oil her up. It was so filthy. It was filthy, but we're not at that part yet, but we'll get there, okay? Uh-oh. All right. Thank you, boo. So, she had the baby. The baby was in the NIC unit because the baby was born with low sugar. That often happens with people who are diabetic, that the baby will be born with low sugar. This is one of the, side effects of having that, right? She also indicated that the baby was jaundice, or would be jaundice. And there was one other complication. I can't remember what that was. But overall, the baby was healthy and eating. Allegedly, the baby did suffer some other problems where, she had to change the formula and all that kind of stuff. And that, too, is normal. You have to find the correct one. I guess she opted out of breastfeeding him, right? Um, Maybe because of her diabetes. I don't know why she decided not to breastfeed the baby, but that is a woman's personal choice. And so, Auntie won't come down on her. Amy has since put a video up of the baby, and he is absolutely adorable. He looks like his daddy, Michael. But there was one picture in particular, honey. I'm telling you, if you could go out and find that on YouTube, where the baby was laying up against this pillow, and the pillow looked like it had been in a barn. It was, the sheet in the pillowcase was just absolutely cotton freaking filthy. Now, we know that these women are not the cleanest women, right? But bitch, when you know that you are scheduling a photo shoot with your own freaking camera, make sure that the background looks like, decent. Now, we have looked at her house and we see that her house is just completely filthy. When she came home from the hospital, it was nasty up in that mofo. And you bringing a baby up in there, things should be clean and sterilized. Now, like if I flip this camera around, y'all will see boxes that I've been going through to go through my closet and rid myself of things and do my donations and stuff like that. But it is not like that on a regular basis. Bitch, that mofo is nasty. It's all giddy up. And you knew that the C-section was scheduled. You knew what date you was going to have the C-section. You could have been chopping that daggone filth and stuff off like day by day. Like, you just don't bring a brand new baby up in that cam. I'm happy. Amy says that this was her dream to have a baby. She's always wanted a baby all her life. But young, you got to step your game up. I mean, there's a lot of responsibilities that come along with having a baby, and being filthy like that is just, it's just not going to work. I mean, you want babies crawl around on the floor. They put things in their mouth constantly. You got to step your cleanup game up, honey. You're going to have to, at this point, be Molly Maid, your daggone self, all right? I just was like, her house is already dirty, and she's not, in my opinion, made the necessary preparations in order to bring the baby up in there. It take more than a cotton freaking cute outfit and some baby booties. You got to make sure that the kitchen is sterile and clean, and when you sterilizing the bottles and all that kind of stuff. I just was like, Amy, come on. And then the only thing that she's worrying about is the baby farting, and she said that the baby came out and was mooning the doctor, which isn't true in a breech position. But and then she said, I was trying to see whether or not the baby farted. Like, grow up. Grow up. I know that you sitting low. You know what I'm saying? And that's because that's what you choose to do. But y'all, come on. In the meantime, in the between time, Tammy is at home indicating that she's worried about her sister. Amy basically told her when she found out that she had to quarantine for 14 days that she couldn't take care of her. And of course, Tammy was like, "Bye," and they continue to call each other bitches. And so she's trying to act like she is not fazed by the fact that her sister is not going to be there to take care of her. But young, let me tell you, she picked up the horn, she got to typing like Elmo, and she got Jerry to come all the way up from North Carolina to come and be with her, because Tammy cannot be alone. She does not know really how to take care of herself, although she talks all of that trash. She talks, big trash about, what she can and she cannot do. And I just was like, now that your sister ain't there, I see you done call Jerry. Jerry comes up there because he's like, I don't want her to be alone. Now, mind you, Chris came on to the episode, right? He came on this season, acting as if he was, the brother to the rescue. But I see Chris as an opportunist. I've always seen Chris as an opportunist. And this episode right here let me know how much of an opportunist Chris really is. Because Chris wasn't nowhere to be found to help Tammy out when Amy was gone. Now, I understand that Chris got his own life. So before you come at me in the comments section, I understand he got his whole life. I know he's got a family and all that kind of stuff. But he know how to be up over that mofo when the cotton freaking cameras is rolling. He know how to be at that cotton freaking doctor's office when it's time to find out whether or not he can get weight loss surgery. And so now here it is. Tammy is at her lowest and by herself. And this mofo ain't nowhere to be found. In my opinion, he's a straight up opportunist, young. But anyway, so Tammy calls Jerry, and Jerry comes over with her and everything, and they decide that they're going to, eat popcorn and look at a movie. She said that, it's low fat popcorn and all that kind of stuff. Young. Tammy, the only thing that's low fat, honey, is a cotton freaking bed of lettuce. Okay? You get you some ice water lettuce or whatever they call that cotton freaking lettuce, and you use that. And she don't need to be sitting around eating no popcorn or anything. Like, Tammy is not taking this serious. I truly believe that Tammy's jealousy of her sister and where her sister is in her life, it really was holding Tammy back. Tammy's the type of mofo that look at everybody else and then decide how she gonna pick an excuse out of watching somebody else's life instead of doing what she needs to do for her own cotton freaking life. Okay? She is just getting on my damn nerve. Like, I don't know if she does not think that this is serious or not. Maybe she just doesn't. Maybe she doesn't have the capacity to get it, to understand where her life really is. Her life right now is in the balance, right? And she's not doing anything, in my opinion, to change that. So, and she really needs somebody to really live in. When Jerry got there, Jerry asked her about her weight loss and because her and Chris' appointment is coming up. And Jerry asked her, how she been doing on her diet. And she was like, I'm doing, those same old one or two word answers. And so Jerry was like, I want you to lose the weight, whoop, whoop, whoop. And Tammy don't really care. She don't care. She just want to get up on that wee-wee, right? She told Jerry that, she was going to kidnap him. And he was like, you ain't going to be able to make me stay. When I want to go, I'm going to go, okay? Because I got a couple of people that I need to see allegedly, okay? According to the blogs, Jerry got a couple of women, up in his back pocket. I don't know why that mofo's slower than a snail, bitch. Ain't nowhere in the world he could be sitting up on a chair, a couch, a wheelchair, a cotton freaking... He couldn't sit up on nothing to talk to me. He gonna say to me, Now he did act like this time he had more sense than he has in previous episodes, but this mofo, bitch, nah, jury, So anyway, Tammy is concerned, and so Amy calls from the hospital with her and the baby, and Mike in the background. This was the most that I've heard Mike talk, and I thank God for closed caption because I didn't understand nothing the mofo had said. The baby looks just like him. Tammy said that both him and the baby ain't got no teeth and ain't got no hair. I said, okay, I'm done. So anyway, when it came time for Amy to, introduce the baby to Tammy, Tammy didn't even really want to even look at the baby. The jealousy was just oozing up out of her. She could not be happy for her sister. Although she tried to be happy for her, she just could not do it. It's not in her to be happy for Amy. And she was like, this is weird. I've seen Amy, with other babies and stuff like this, but not one that she birthed. There was a faux pas that Amy did when she was talking about the hospital, and she said that the back the breeding ground the breeding ground the bacteria breeding ground for the hospital. And I'm thinking, no, the hospital is a breeding ground for infections and diseases. She said it the opposite way. I said, bless her heart. It was so jacked up, I can't even remember the way that she said it. But anyway, so Jerry, was sitting there with Tammy when Amy called in, and he was extremely excited for Amy and for Michael. He, told her welcome to motherhood and all that kind of stuff. And Tammy was just, kind of sitting there with, hardly any words to say. Amy told her that they were doing skin to skin. Why is this lighting making me look like I got a cotton freaking mustache? Like, I ain't liking this at all. Excuse me, y'all. So anyway, she said she was doing skin to skin, and she was like, well, why are you doing skin to skin? And she was like, so you can bond with the baby and everything. But it didn't make a difference to Tammy what Amy said. She was hating on it. So Jerry was like, you want to have a baby? And she was like, no. I'm not the type who wants to have a baby. I'm the best aunt, right? But I don't want to have a baby. And I really believe that Tammy is saying that because Tammy knows that she can't have a baby. And so this, again, is another defense mechanism for cotton freaking nasty ass Tammy. Tammy really is a nasty person. She's just not a kind of person that you will want to be around. She is very pessimistic, and it's all woe with me, very selfish, self-centered. Don't see the bright side to anything. The glass is always empty for her. She doesn't really want to celebrate other people. She's just a nasty person, in my opinion. And I feel sorry for her because maybe if she changed her outlook, maybe it would give her the energy and stuff that she needed. Anyway, in the meantime, Chris is at home, and Chris has made a determination that he is going to cut back on his food. He's going to do everything that he can to make this weight loss go. We see Chris exercising and everything, and he said the only thing that he wants to be able to do is touch his toes. And so we saw Chris, working out. He was able to touch his toes, so he was very excited about that. We can tell that Chris is coming down in his weight loss. He calls his daughter because he said his daughter moved out of state and they don't talk to each other, or see each other like they should. And so, he has this telephone conversation with his daughter and basically tells her, if Tammy ain't ready for the surgery, I'm going to go ahead on to have the joint. And that's what really made me think, he's just really an opportunist. He saw an opportunity for him to be able to get on the show. Some people say he's a fan favorite. He's no fan favorite of mine. Don't speak for my ass. Okay, when you talk about fan favorite, don't bring my name up. Don't say that auntie like him. Don't say that auntie for him or nothing like that. Fuck him. He's an opportunist. He does what he can do when the cameras are around, and he really ain't doing. Tammy said neither one of them are doing what they said that they were going to do. When they had moments of weakness, they were supposed to call each other. Tammy ain't been calling him, and he ain't been calling Tammy. And so he really has not kept up on his end of the deal on why they even brought his fat ass on the show. You understand what I'm saying? I can't stand people that do stuff like that. And, he's just ready. He's just doing him. Again, he has a right to do him, but it's just the way that you do stuff. It's the way that Chris is doing this that's cotton freaking and pissed me off, because here you got this girl over here, you be talking about her behind her back all the damn time, but you ain't doing what you said that you was going to do, mofo. Do what the you said you was going to do. Take your fat ass over there, help her exercise, help clean out her refrigerator, and encourage her like you encouraging yourself. Excuse me. So it just is what it is. I hate the way, I believe that Tammy is the way that she is probably because of past experiences and stuff like that. Part of me feels sorry for her, and the other part of me want to cuss her out, and will cuss her out, and will call out her stuff. But I really see Chris ass too. Chris ain't hiding behind no damn bush with me. I see this mofo for who and what he is, in my opinion. Write down in the comment section what your opinion is about him. Do you think that this mofo is an opportunist, that he, got up on his show to get his weight loss surgery and hasn't kept up his end of the bargain? Or do you believe that he's done all that he can do for Tammy and he can't do nothing else and he need to take care of himself? Either way that you feel, it's neither right nor wrong. It's just your opinion about it. I just, the more I look at it and the more I feel like I'd have to review it and stuff, it's, you look at it from a different perspective. And the perspective that I'm looking for, with the stuff that Chris has done over the past couple of weeks, Chris out for his goddamn self. Now, Jerry is over there and everything, so is he going to go over there and be up in Jerry's face? Does he know Jerry is there? I'm sure Amy was shocked to see that Jerry was there. But anyway, Jerry is sitting, I want to feel happy for Amy, but I'm just like, I hope they do the right thing by that baby. She said that this has been a dream. She's wanted a child since she was 5. But please, Lord, let her do the right thing by that baby. Please clean up your mofo house. What else happened in this episode? So anyway, when they brought the baby home, they they called Tammy and let Tammy know that they was home. Tammy said that she hadn't been feeling good. So Amy was like, have you been working out? And she was like, I've been doing the bike a little bit, but I just haven't been feeling good. And she was coughing and everything. And so, Amy was like, well, you still got to do what you got to do. When she hung up the phone, she told Mike, she was like, Tammy making excuses. Well, come to find out, 2 to 3 days later, Tammy got rushed to the hospital because Tammy ended up having COVID. It was a good thing that Amy's doctor has suggested to her and her husband that they continue to stay in quarantine with the baby for an additional 14 days and really be careful about the people that they have around. Because if they had showed that baby to Tammy, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, what would have happened? Because Tammy had COVID. Now, I don't know if she got COVID from Jerry or if she got COVID from running the streets, according to Mike, with no mask or anything like that. Now, there's a lot of people who don't believe in wearing the mask, and there's a lot of people who do believe in wearing the mask. I am one of those people who believe I'm going to put my N95 on, bitch. When I go out the house, when I have service people in my home, I have an N95 on and I'm spraying the dog out my house. I'm one of those kind of people. So I'm glad that Amy did not. You know, she said she wanted to show the baby off because the baby was real cute. But I am so glad that she decided not to take the baby over to Tammy's house, because it's no telling what would have happened with that baby. Again, I rated this episode an A because baby Gabe Dion is here. I'm hoping and wishing the best for Amy and for her new family, because this is what she's always wanted. And so it just lets people know that if you have a dream, you can obtain it. Now, even when she was in a hospital, she was talking about, you know, the thickness of her skin and being obese and having 2 surgeries in 1 year and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, everything was successful. She was able to come home, 2 to 3 days after she had the baby. So anyway, y'all, this is the end of my review. We need to really pray for Tammy. I know that lately we have been seeing Tammy with the oxygen mask on, and I believe that that is a result of her being affected, and she probably has to stay on the oxygen for a while. Some people do have lung damage after the fact, so that explains why she's always having that oxygen going. And I don't know how long she's gonna be on that mofo, but she don't need to be on it. She need to get the weight loss off. Spoiler alert: Tammy did not have the weight loss surgery, allegedly. Allegedly, she has not had the weight loss surgery because when it was time for her to go to the doctor, she contracted COVID. And so she missed the appointment. And as a result of that, she probably just ate her whole damn life away. Okay? But anyway, thank you to everybody who super chatted. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you to my moderators who are out here keeping the room safe. A special shout out to all of the members of Auntie's Advice. You are my angels, and I love you all to pieces. Bye, y'all.